G'day mates, in today's video I'm going to talk about the insane kickoff to FNCS we just had today, including Vontrex and Jason, the team now very famous for doing heal-offs and making finals, getting disqualified or banned mid-finals. Some people saying Epic are now banning players for doing heal-off, some people saying it's a mass report bot the people in the community are using to ban anyone they want, and some people saying it was because he did an exploit last season and now he's getting banned for it. So I'm going to get to the bottom of exactly what's going on there, and that's not the only pro who's been banned. We have other pros now getting banned mid FNCS for things they did seasons ago. Everyone's freaking out. So it's been a pretty crazy start to FNCS. I want to talk about who qualified and who didn't. We had Malibuka and Mustache go absolutely crazy on EU. We had Day and Clicks just miss out on NA. It's crazy. There's a lot to talk about. Let's just jump into it. Let's start off talking about what is going on and why Vontrex and Jason, the team that is now very popular for doing heal-off and qualifying for finals, was banned or disqualified mid-FNCS finals. So in case you guys don't know, Vontrex and Jason are two players who qualified for the finals today with 0 eliminations in round 3. They get there purely by heal-off, which has upset a lot of people. Some people think it's hilarious, some people love it, some people hate it, but whatever your thoughts are, they made finals. And in their game 2, they came second. They almost beat Tayson and Chavix, who won the game. They just ran out of heal-offs. They made it to be the second last team in a set lobby finals of the best teams on EU. It was ridiculous. A lot of people freaking out saying it was terrible. A lot of people loved it. It was entertaining. I was watching it. People were getting behind it. But then they went into game 3, died on spawn, left the game, and got hit with a message that they were disqualified. They were disqualified from the tournament. And this is when everyone started freaking out. Everyone assumed that they were disqualified and Epic was now banning people for doing heal-offs. And unfortunately, when you're disqualified, it doesn't give you a reason. This is in German, but it doesn't actually give you a reason for why you've been disqualified. A lot of people assume that Epic was just banning people who do heal-offs now, which made everyone freak out. Cray's been doing it for the longest time. Why would you ban heal-offs? It's your job to fix it. Everyone freaked out. It turns out it looks like they weren't actually banned for doing the heal-off or disqualified for doing the heal-off. The first thing that people thought about, that I talked about as well, is it looks like they actually got banned because of a mass report. Now, this is not the first time we've seen someone get banned in an FNCS and EU from a mass report. Remember, it happened to Mr. Savage. It happened to Tripper. So it's safe for people to assume that a mass report could be behind this because it's happened before. It's not the first time. Also, there was people in the community who were claiming that they were the one to actually mass report him through a new bot. Now, I was going to talk about this a few days ago, specifically around Swifty, who, if you guys didn't see, was an EU pro who got banned for doing tokens or wages on stream, and he's the first person to ever get banned from this. The reason why I didn't talk about it, though, is as I figured out more from the story and from talking to him, it looks like he was banned due to a mass report as well. I didn't want to bring attention to a system where people could just get people they don't like banned by mass reporting them. You can understand why that's a dangerous thing to do. But now, after these tweets today have got thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of views and likes, the information is clearly out there. So I want to clear up what's going on. So a lot of people thinking that it was a mass report that got Vontrex banned, and some people actually claiming that they are the reason he got banned because they used this bot to mass report him. The other side of it is more information has since come out, and I saw this from the EU comp report and people like Cray in the scene talking about how potentially he has actually been disqualified because he was found using a Guzzle Juice exploit last season. So last season there was an exploit where you could use Guzzle Juices in Storm, which pretty much made Storm heal off ridiculous. Obviously, popping a Guzzle Juice and regaining every tick of health you lose without losing any health while in Storm is it's an exploit. That's not how Guzzle Juice is meant to work. But like a lot of exploits in Fortnite, people didn't know whether they were able to abuse it. It's like when you ramp boost in through a wall. Yes, using a Guzzle Juice in Storm is very clearly against the game's mechanics, but a lot of people believe that's on Epic, that's not on you. But whether you believe it's on Epic or on you, the fact is it really shouldn't take you until next season when the Guzzle Juice has been vaulted to then get retroactively disqualified from a tournament you qualified for fair and square. I think a lot of people can agree on that. So either way, whether it is a mass report or whether it's because of this Guzzle Juice exploit, people are going to be upset because either option, a lot of people arguing Vontrex shouldn't have been disqualified. Or if you argue he should have been disqualified because of the Guzzle Juice exploit, he should have been punished for that last season when he did it, not this season now coming into finals. So a lot of people think it's a targeted attack at Vontrex because Epic doesn't want heal-offs, and they have made changes and nerfs in the past specifically to get rid of heal-offs. If you remember when Cray was getting very popular for heal-offs, they removed the small fries from the game so people couldn't use small fries to then do the heal-off, basically heavily nerfing Cray. So Epic has clearly proven they don't like heal-offs in finals, which a lot of people agree with. I get it. I've talked about it. Whenever I talk about heal-offs, I get why people love heal-offs, but I understand why people don't think they're competitive and they think it's not fair that they're taking points and potentially money from other players playing the game properly. But whatever your stance on that, what's happened to Vontrex doesn't seem to be fair, but what we really need is some kind of a statement from Epic. We still don't know why. Epic has said nothing. They disqualified a team from finals, and not only that, their spot rolled down, so we had other teams randomly playing in finals who we didn't think were going to, who started dropping on and contesting other teams because they didn't know they were going to be in there. It was all a bit of a mess, and I wanted to clear up exactly what happened with those two sides of the story, and I have to make this very clear. We still do not know which one it is. We have evidence that points towards both, but there is no clear answer, and based on the fact that we didn't get an answer today, I don't think we will. We don't know what happened. This isn't the only confusing ban, not ban, or no idea what's going on from Epic that we've seen today. We had Apolox and OCE Pro not only be able to queue up for FNCS, make it through round 1, 2, 3, and play in round 4, he auto-qualified to grand finals, placing top 5 before then getting disqualified. And this one is super unfortunate. So if you guys don't know, Apolox did get banned last season for account sharing during a cash cup before FNCS. He played on a different account, he got banned, but his understanding of the rules of the 14-day ban means that he was going to be able to play in this FNCS. He even went as far as to reach out to the Epic support staff, who gave him very mixed messages. They said, "Hi, the rulebook states only of when the ban is received, so I think if you got it during the event, this will result in ineligibility. But if it was received on a previous day and not during the FNCS, then it could be possible that the restriction is not applied for the next one." I would really like to give you a more decisive answer, but I would hate to give the wrong info and let you down. So I hope you understand my position that you can enjoy all future events fully. So again, they're doing the best they can with the information they have, but this is the actual official Epic support staff that he has to reach out to figure out what's going on. And he got that banned before FNCS started. So based on this message, he should be able to play this FNCS. He's been told by Epic staff, the ruling is that if you're banned before FNCS, then you can play in the next FNCS. He's not trying to get around this. He's not trying to like do a shady and just play in the tournament and tell nobody. He reached out to the official Epic Game staff, and they told him that if he was banned before FNCS, he should be able to play. But either way, all of that's irrelevant. If he is banned, he shouldn't be able to queue up, and he definitely shouldn't be able to get through round 1, 2, 3, and round 4 auto-qualifying to grands. It's just not fair. It just shows again, Epic's communication is just not up to par right now. They need to communicate things better. They need to have a actual communication line. If the support staff aren't able to tell you what's going on with your ban, you should be able to reach out to someone on the competitive team that can definitively tell you you are not able to play in the tournament. And I get it. People get banned. They've broken the rules. Apolox has broken the rules in the past, but he account shared. There was really no harm done from it. He got caught for it. He sat out last FNCS. Now he's trying to play this one. Apolox isn't even complaining for himself. He just feels bad for his teammate Pumpkin, who just qualified and now has to find a new duo mid FNCS with one qualifier already down. It just doesn't need to be this hard. Epic just needs a better communication system and a way to actually reach out to them properly. Last bit of big news before we get into talking about the actual FNCS results today and who qualified and who didn't. We had a post from Fortnite that is really upsetting for Middle East people to hear. It said, "Fortnite Middle East server update. Starting on May 9th, 2022, which is only a few days away, mid FNCS, a networking option provided by one of our partners will be terminated. As a result, if you are playing on the Middle East server, you might experience a high ping. We are exploring different options to solve this issue and will keep you posted." So I don't know exactly what that means. It sounds like a company that was either hosting their servers or had some role in getting the servers working on Middle East have ended their contract. So it means if you're playing on Middle East, there is a very good chance your ping could increase quite a lot. And in the middle of FNCS, that's now already been moved around because of Ramadan as well. So I feel a lot for my Middle East competitive players. I just feel for Middle East players in general. I don't know what this means. I don't know if you're going to log in and you normally get 0 ping and now you're going to be on 100, or if you got 20 ping and now you'll be on 40. I don't know know the extent of how bad it is, but I wanted to let you guys know because I didn't want you just to log in and wonder why your ping is so high. But unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's really anything you can do about it unless Epic does find another company or another contract to pick up whatever slack this company was dropping. So I do like that Epic has given some clear communication on this ahead of time. People aren't just going to wake up, get on and have higher ping, but the fact that you're being given the information, there's nothing you can do about it, is a little bit rough. So I'm sorry, I'm really just putting this in the video to inform you. It sucks. I wish I could help. All right, let's get into talking who qualified and who didn't, because FNCS today was spicy. EU had obviously all this drama breaking down. It was all crazy. But meanwhile, we had some of the best Fortnite going on in the background. We had Mustache and Malibuca walk away in first place on 210 with 6 matches and 3 wins. Yes, they won half their games in the finals. Right now, if Malibuca and Mustache make it off spawn, they win. They got a 9 elim win first game. Then they got a 0 elim 39th, 1 elim 46, 2 elim 43rd, and then a 12 elim win and a 14 elim win. Absolutely ridiculous. I would like to say, going into the last 2 games when they're on 70 points, I actually predicted that if any team could come back and qualify from 70 points to a top 5, it's Mustache and Malibuca. Did I think they would win the last 2 games? No, but they are just that good. And you're probably wondering why they're going down on spawn. It's because they're dropping Covert Cavern right now, and they're getting contested by Pink and Anas on the top side. So when you got up against a team that good, even if you're Mustache and Malibuca, you're not going to win every time. But having a 100% win rate when you make it to endgame is just ridiculous. And they don't get vault loot either. Like, they get good covert loot, but it's not like it's, you know, back in the days of like the caddy launcher where you die a whole bunch on spawn, but if you win, you get the item that guarantees you a win. There are plenty of teams that would have Malibuca and Mustache's loot and not win every single game, let alone win any of their games. And they managed to beat out Tayson and Chapix, who came in second place. Newly formed team, obviously, after all the drama with Thomas HD, and Thomas HD not qualifying and Tayson qualifying did give him a final laugh. People were making jokes, but I think Tayson and Chapix were just happy to have qualified in their first finals playing together as a duo in this season. We had Relvis and Krusty, a team that I honestly have not heard that much about, and I'm happy to admit that I don't know a lot about them, but they played really, really well today. 184 points, only 3 points behind Tayson and Chapix, just really, really consistent players. They had a third place, 19th, 9th, 2nd, and 9th. Really, really good average placement. The highest average placement of any team today, actually, 7.5. Really, really good plays from them, and I'm just excited to see how they keep going because they're a team that I think wasn't on a lot of people's radar, but should be now. We have Grolls and Shizo, another team that I know a little bit more about, but again, weren't in my top 5, or I think many people's top 5 here, getting 175 points. Again, really, really consistent Fortnite from them, an overall placement of 12.3, but also getting a lot of elims, 4.5 average elims across all their games. Then our last place, our last qualifying spot, definite last place, we had Joe and Z Andy. Remember, another team that just formed because of that whole shuffling around with Tayson and Thomas splitting. So Joe and Z Andy ending up with a phenomenal team. It was great to see Z Andy end up in the top 5 because a lot of people were very excited for him to have his chance to play with Chapix, a really big pickup for him. And when that split up, a lot of people were quite upset, but got a top 5 in their first time playing together. Really, really good for them. Unfortunately, despite a phenomenal last game, a 12 elim 2nd and a 3 elim 3rd in their last 2 games, Axe Force and Usury couldn't clutch up the qual. They got 161 in 6th place. But in case you haven't been following the FNCS format, this is only qualifier 1. Any team who didn't qualify through today still has qualifier 2, which is starting tomorrow. We have round 1 and 2 on the Saturday, and then round 3 and 4 on the Sunday. And then we also have qualifier 3 next weekend. There's plenty of chances to qualify, and all these guys still got series points to get into the semifinals as well. We also had Eyedrop and Jerky just missing out, Snazy and Podicide despite being contested at Coney, doing very well, taking it out over the top of Flowers and Mappy. We had Mr. Satan's team in 9th, and we had T-Chips in 10th. You are missing some of the big names we come to expect. Pink and Anas were down in 19th. We had Floki and Clement in 13th. Hen and Queasy down in 22nd. A very shocking performance from them. Again, not absolutely terrible, still top half of the pack, but if Hen and Queasy aren't top 5, top 3 or winning, you usually call it an underperformance. So we'll see if they can bring it back. I didn't really see too many issues as to why they struggled today. I guess we'll have to see how they go in future qualifiers. I'm sure they will be completely fine. Like, we had Flo's Mappy, like I said, contested on spawn, and unfortunately, right down near the bottom, we did have Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage. They were heavily contested, and as you can see from their placements, 47th, 44th, 48th, and 40th, they did lose that spawn fight more than they wanted. There's just so many teams at Tilted. Despite losing a good chunk of the loot at Tilted, there are still 3 teams going there, and one of them dropping on them at the blimp almost every single game. So we'll have to see how Benji and Savage go when they make round 4 again, if they can switch up the drop spot, or maybe the teams that dropped there will go somewhere else, or they won't qualify, because all 3 teams that went Tilted did not qualify. So if they all make round 4 again, they're all going at it yet again. So it was a pretty interesting EU finals. Like I said, Malibuka Mustache really took the show. Unfortunately, a lot of the focus wasn't on the Fortnite gameplay. It was on what was going on behind the scenes with the other teams getting disqualified. As you can see, Vontrex is no longer there. We do have 51 teams in the top leaderboard as well, but Vontrex is not on the leaderboard, so it's all been a bit messy. I don't know what this means for Vontrex. I don't know if this means he can play future FNCSs. If you've been following the Heel Off team, we're gonna have to wait to see. If it's a disqualification, it usually means it's gonna be for the rest of FNCS as well, or maybe it was just this qualifier and they can play the next one, but that wouldn't really make any sense. Getting disqualified from this qualifier for something they did last season, but then being able to play the next ones tomorrow. I don't know. I really hope Epic gives us a statement though. Moving over to NA East, we had Peterbot and Byler taking out the top spot on 239 points. Insane consistency from them. 6 matches, 1 win, but look at the placement. 7 Elim 4th, a 3 Elim 24th, their worst game, then a 4 Elim 6th, 8 Elim win, 5 Elim 7th, and a 9 Elim 2nd. And I will say the 9 Elim 2nd with a bit of an asterisk. Byler tried to pickaxe, I believe it was Shadow, or Me Too at the very end there. He tried to pickaxe about 5 times before failing and getting the 2nd place. So really should have been another win in there as well, but they already knew they qualified. It was the last game of the day. There was no way they didn't get top 5. So I respect Byler going for the memes, and honestly a really big performance from a team that people have definitely heard about. Of course, Peterbot, but I think a lot of people just not obviously having them in their top 5, haven't seen them play much together. I will also mention the only reason why they managed to make the round 4 finals at all is because Peterbot managed to pull off a 24 kill 5th as a solo. Apparently from like first rotating zone or earlier, Peterbot was a solo and got 24 kill 5th to clutch up their qual to make round 4, to then win it and go straight through to grand. So super impressive from them. We saw Aegis and Kanata with their first performance ever from uncontested Greasy, or mostly uncontested. They did get contested 1 or 2 games from a team that wasn't Rise or Threats. Rise and Threats choosing to finally leave Greasy after Aegis and Kanata have very clearly marked their stamp of dominance on it. In the last Cash Cup, they did go 11-1 against Rise, so I love Rise and Threats. They saw the chance to take uncontested Rocky because Joji and Rokane didn't qualify, and Aegis and Kanata took that chance to now qualify. But I'm guessing that probably means Rise and Threats are now going to go back to Greasy and hold it down so they can qualify, because Aegis and Kanata are now straight into grand finals. They're not playing qualifier 2, 3, or the semis, so Greasy is open, and I think Rise and Threats are going to take that opportunity. In 3rd place, we had my underrated dark horse pick to qualify. We had Death and Coney Owner, which is Tabney, coming in 3rd place on 190 points. I couldn't be more proud of this team. A lot of eyes are on them right now. Tabney popping off in solos, Death and Tabney popping off in duo Cash Cups, and now qualifying in the 1st qualifier. They are doing really well. We had DJ and Iomzo in 4th. Again, another team dropping on that top side of Covert. A really good performance from them. They had a 6 Elim 1st, a 4 Elim 5th, and a 4 Elim 3rd. They did have a couple of mid-game games where they went down before that, but easily enough points to qualify. And then of course Dignitas, Miro, and Sentinels Booga coming in 5th on 176 points. Now there was a lot of question marks around Miro and Booga, and I'm happy to say that I was a lot of the ones raising them. They no longer had the car that has been instrumental in their success so far. On an edge map drop, they've had no practice of that in set lobbies. They have not played a single set lobby since vehicles were taken out of the game. The first 3 zones all pulled far north. I'm talking like Sleepy and Bugle far north, and they still managed to qualify. If there was any questions around whether Booga and Mira were going to be able to handle the heat without the vehicle at Chonkers, it has been completely put to rest. I have no doubt in this team. And yes, I know what you guys are going to say. They're back-to-back FNCS winners. It's Miro, Booga, Aussie. You're an idiot for doubting them. Come on. We had not seen them play at all without one of the key instruments to their success. Of course, like I said in my video, if anyone can overcome that, it's Miro Miro and Booga, but people were right to be a little bit skeptical, and they very, very much prove they can handle it. Really, really well played from Miro and Booga today. With a bit more favorable zones, they will qualify even easier. Their placement was absolutely ridiculous. 8th, 9th, 3rd, 6th, 5th, and 10th. Not a single game did they place outside the top 10. They didn't really have the elims to back it up, but that's fine. Consistent placement is key, especially in a 12-game format. A lot of people arguing a match history like that really should be probably not about 60 points behind first. Like, that is a really consistent match history, but we know elims are worth 3. Big elim games are worth even more, and that is what let them down from getting that first place, but still played so well. We had Slacks and Clarity, unfortunately, just missing out in 6th place on 162. We had Threats and Rise, who, like I said, out of a new drop spot, almost clutched it up, getting a 7th place with a 2 elim 3rd in their last game. If they got some more elims, they could have jumped up, but a really, really big performance from them. Jack and Illest in 8th, and then Day and Clicks in 9th. Day and Clicks went for it their last game. They were aiming for a 15 kill win. They were actually set to potentially do it. I think Clicks had 3 or 4 launch pads. Day jumped in for an aggressive 1v2, as Day does best. Unfortunately, he did lose it. I saw Day copping a lot of hate and a lot of flame in the Twitch chats. I get it. It's easy to say Day's an idiot for jumping in boxes when he plays aggressive, but it's also the same reason why Day has won so many FNCSs and is one of the best teams on NAEs. You can't take it away from him. You can't let him jump in and get those insane refreshes and then also get annoyed when sometimes he jumps in and dies. It's just how it works. If Day knew exactly when to jump into every single fight and never jumped into the wrong fight, they would win every single tournament, every single FNCS. It just comes with being a hyper aggressive player, and unfortunately they didn't qualify. But if you're a Clicks fan, now you get to watch him play the rest of FNCS. I don't think Clicks should be too mad about this. If he qualifies first qualifier, he doesn't get to play qualifier 2, 3, or semis. So is it such a bad thing? I don't know. We had Shadow and Me Too coming in 10th, and then Jamper and Dukes just missing out in 11th. I do want to give a shout out to Crumble and Mars too. A lot of people, obviously, Mars has kind of fallen off their radar as far as content, or just doesn't have much of a social presence when it comes to competitive. He just does what he does and keeps to himself as always, and getting 12th place was really, really impressive for me, especially opening up with a 3rd and 5th place back to back. And then of course Mega and Dubs, our OG duo, coming in 13th. So NA East was pretty damn spicy, and with those top 5 out of it now, I feel like it's going to make room for a lot of teams to pop off and come out of nowhere here. Moving over to NA West, absolutely no surprises here, or maybe surprise if you haven't been following based on their performance last season. We had Rex and Reed coming in first in the first qualifier, 208 points, 6 matches, and 1 win. Their last game being their worst game, because I think they already knew they qualified. They were just messing around, so they could have potentially won by even more. But after not making it out of opens in last FNCS to now qualifying in first place in the first week of this one, just proves Rex and Reed still very much do have it. They're dropping Greasy. I think one of the big keys to their success right now is 2 things. Greasy currently has the Lambo with no tires that you can throw chonker tires on, so you have a 100% spawn chonker Lambo every single game. And they also getting to buy next zone reveal from Greasy, and that has been a huge key to their success so far here. But they are also just playing really, really well. We had Chicken and Mekton come in second on 182, Rexy and Dynamic in third on 173, Lime and Chip, which I have to say is one of the best name combos in the world. We have Lime and Chip, and then we had Caleb and Solution. Now you'll notice no Arkhram Epic Whale in 6th place, but let me give you 2 reasons why. Firstly, let me show you how they died game 1.
It's fine. Wait, what? Super like, wait, what?
I mean, yeah, you can win 10, 20, 50 FNCS's World Cup. It does not matter. No amount of skill is saving you from that one. He is in a fully built metal box, and the amount of desync, he is just getting shot like 3 or 4 separate times, a few seconds apart from each other through those walls. Not like he got one shot and then he went behind the wall and it stopped. There was like 4 different instances of him being shot behind walls. That clip I showed in a few videos ago of Bucky running in the open and Hen shooting him in the back, it's like that, but so much worse. So obviously that's how their game 1 went. And then if you notice, they got a 6 elim second, 11 elim first, 8 elim 12th. They were pretty much guaranteed to qualify until they thought, hey, maybe we want to stream the rest of these. Maybe we don't want to qualify in the first week. Maybe we don't want to sit out this. I want to play the rest of this FNCS. And then they threw their last 2 games, getting a 1 elim 32nd and a 0 elim 32nd. So I would not worry. Arkhram and Epic Whale will qualify when they want to qualify. They are that good. And on West, they can just make it look that simple. So Arkhram and Epic Whale fans, don't panic. There's a very good reason why they didn't qualify. It's because they didn't want to. They'll be playing the rest of FNCS. I watch West, so I'm happy they didn't qualify. I've got someone else to watch now. We have Zeno and Belthy just missing out. Fabs and Snacky, unfortunately, their last game. They were set to potentially clutch it up. Fabs, unfortunately, going down to a misplay in the end game did cost them. But again, as someone else streaming FNCS, there is no way Fabs and Snacky don't qualify through. So I'm pretty sure they're not too mad about missing out as well. They'll just have to play this weekend. Snacky will just have to stream to thousands of viewers again. It won't be a big deal. Then we had Etso and Monk, and then Raik and Remy coming top 10. I also did want to take a second to let you guys know that obviously I'm live for all these FNCS as always, but I'm doing a bunch of cool stuff you want to swing by. I'm doing predictions where if you predict the top 5 teams right, or you get the most right on my stream, you get $50. I'm doing giveaways with bingo boards and stuff for subs if you aren't a sub and you want to enjoy the stream a little bit more and have some fun with it. Also, we have Twitch drops on right now that normally I don't hype up the Twitch drops that much. I don't really talk about them, but at the moment, one of the Twitch drops you can get very soon is actually the FNCS back bling, and I'm not gonna lie, this is a clean back bling. This is the first time I've ever actually been excited for a Twitch drop or told people they should swing by my stream to make sure they get it. So if you haven't, twitch.tv/Aussie Antics, check me out. I'm live like 10-12 hours a day for all these different FNCS days. I'd love to see you there. All right, guys, that does it for another video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please chuck a like on it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one.